Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening? What is happening? Welcome to yet another edition of Pass the Ox. It's your boy, Dwayne. You already know your homie. Some of y'all know you as the human highlight reel, but you know, on this show, we go by the name of Dwayne. You know what I'm saying? We got to get a government one time. And it feels good to just, be in the building right now. So I'm going to pass this thing. You already know your boy like to throw them alleys. So I got to get an alley to my one, my only, my true favorite co-host, Miss Janean. Talk to the people. How you doing?
Hey, good was cracking, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to another high episode of Pass the Ox. It's your girl, Janean, aka the Queen of Clutch It. And we back in action for another hot one. Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So, we got a really dope episode in store today.
Yes.
And I would like to introduce, I got to do this one good time. I'm going to introduce a man that really needs no introduction. You know what I mean? But we're going to give him one anyway, because that's how we do on Pass the Ox. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to welcome an Atlanta Christian hip hop legend, my guy. Now, he probably won't tell y'all this, you know what I'm saying? Because he humble like that, so he ain't going to say that. But I'm going to introduce him like that because this boy, man, me and this guy go way back, you know what I mean? So I had to introduce and bring this man. He is actually our very first official artist to join the Pass the Ox show on today. So round of applause for that one. We got our first official guest in the house. And like I said, man, this man speaks many, many volumes. His music tells his story. And, well, he's the innovator and the creator of what a nice little movement we like to call trap theology. You see him repping it right there with the shirt. You already know what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the building, Mr. Plain James. How you doing, good sir?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I can't complain at all, man. Glad to be here.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. So, without further ado, Cuzzo, let's go ahead and let's kick this thing off one time, and let's just start. You know how we do. Every time Past the Ox, we like to start it off and just kind of say a nice little segment that we call "What's in Your Ears." You know what I mean? So, Cuzzo, you got the flow. What's been in your ears? What's going on?
Let's do it. So, what's been in my ears? This week I happened upon a TikTok video with about 10 songs that said, hey, if you know 3 out of these songs, then you had an emo phase. I knew all of them, but I didn't have an emo phase. But I created a fuck yeah playlist, and I just wanted to share a few of my songs on there. I have Fall Out Boy, Sugar We're Going Down, The Killers, Somebody Told Me, The Killers, Mr. Brightside, Paramore, Misery Business, Paramore, Crush, 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 Panic at the Disco, I Write Sins, Not Tragedies, Sublime, Santeria, and Alice in Chains, Rooster. Those are my, playlists. And then it's old to the world, but new to me. It's a song called Top Down by the artist Channel Tres. I don't know if it's Tres or Tres, but either way. How I was introduced to this song is I've been binge watching a HBO show called Betty, which is basically about these girl skaters, and they kind of follow them around that scene. And it just shows like how dope these girls are on boards, but how they can be kind of overlooked and like the little petty stuff that they go through. I guess it's like a male-dominated sport, because that's really what it is. I couldn't ride a skateboard, even if I tried.
We all tried at least once.
At least once. But anyway, so there's a scene where they're just all out kicking it. And in the background, you hear this cool, like, electro dance beat, but if you listen a little bit more, you're like, yo, he's talking some stuff, like almost like the same stuff that we listen to on like rap or whatever. So I look up the artist, and he's a Black kid from Compton, which was like, wasn't expecting it, right? And I like when I find artists like this, because for a while, I don't think so much now, and since artists have a direct stream to their fans through SoundCloud and YouTube, etc. But there was a time where like Black music equaled a very limited space, so like rap, R&B, funk, soul, and like that was it. And if you did anything outside of that, you're weird or white, right? And
Okay.
I
Okay.
watching Moesha, and there was an episode on there where her best friend Kim really wanted to go see Lee Ann Rimes. And the whole episode was her trying to get these tickets. And for those who don't know, she's a country singer. And the episode ended where she got to sing with her. So at an early age, you're like, oh, maybe, you know, we can get into some other genres. Like, it's dope.
Yeah.
So it definitely lit a spark to be interested in country. It didn't catch, but it still opened your mind up to kind of consume different types of music. So that was dope. And another fan favorite for me, I've been listening to Slim Thug. The single is called Water. Why? I don't know, because I like it.
Slim Thugger.
Diverse selection right there.
Yeah, that is super
Everything.
diverse. Super diverse. I love it. I love it. Well, Plain, how about you, man? What's been in your ears lately this week, man? What you been bumping lately, man?
Man, I stumbled across an artist from Compton, man, young dude by the name of Buddy.
Okay.
Buddy, he had a song called Black, and I just heard it in the background of somebody's Instagram video. So I checked it out, and he dope, man. This song, I don't know, man. His perspective on music, man, is just like some real life type stuff. He not the guy trying to be the super thug, super gangster. He from Compton, you know what I'm saying? So it's certain things that just gonna happen just as a result of where his upbringing was or whatnot. But I don't know, man. He got a real soulful sound, man. He kind of a mixture of singing and rapping. So I've been checking music. Then I like to ride to like instrumentals sometimes too, man. Sometimes I really listen to a lot of words. So Anderson .Paak, that's one of my favorite artists.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So talented.
Real dope dude. Real dope. Okay.
They actually put out a instrumental album. They put out an album not too long ago, but they actually put an instrumental album out with just the tracks without the words or anything on it. So I just been vibing to that, man. And other than that, man, just anything that catch my ear. But for the most part, those two things have really been sticking in my radio for the most part.
Okay. I like that, man. You know, and sometimes, hey, you know what? That, especially as an artist, man, you know how we do. A lot of times we really like to just sometimes, maybe we don't want to hear nothing with words to it. Sometimes we do just like to vibe to an instrumental, because as artists, when you write, you know, that's usually what catch you more than anything. The beat, you know what I mean? Like the horns, you know, the bass, you know, or something like just anything, you know, the sample or the loop, you know, like you never know what's gonna catch you. So it's pretty dope that you brought that up, man, because a lot of times the beat tapes, man, shout out to a producer out there. If you got a beat tape, I appreciate those, man. A lot of times you just want to listen to the beats.
I just, especially like, man, I just been writing an album, so it's like you don't want to listen to certain things so much that it begins to influence you, because, you know, you go to start writing and the next thing you know, certain cadences you've been hearing, or, you know, certain styles hearing, is like, it's in your head because you've been listening to it nonstop. So I kind of like want to have a clear palette when I'm getting ready to write, so I don't sound like nobody else. I kind of want to make sure I'm doing my own thing.
Man, that's amazing, brother. I love that. I love that philosophy. And I hope all my artists out there listening, I hope y'all applying that same philosophy. If you don't do that already, I'm just saying that's good knowledge. As far as your boy here, man, today, man, you know what? Lately, today seemed to be, I guess, a Kanye West day. I kind of had it on shuffle on my iPhone. You know what I'm saying? My Apple Music was on shuffle. A lot of Kanye was coming up today, and I was just like, all right, I guess it's a Kanye kind of day. I was getting all kind of random Kanye's. Heard Jesus Walks come up in there one time. Some of the songs from his recent, you know, Jesus is King album popped up, and some of the stuff from College Dropout, and I was just graduation, name it. I was just like, okay, well, it's a Kanye kind of day. Recently, I, you know, shameless plug for yet another show featured on the OTS network by the name of Life's a Botch. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Fred Rosser, aka Darren Young. He put me on to a couple of nice indie artists out there, and one of them was by the name of Dayley, Dayley. and I checked him out, and you know, we had a nice conversation about R&B, and so you know, I was like, all right, I'm gonna check these artists out. You know, I gave him some, he gave me some, and as I was listening, man, I was like, I like the vibes, man. You know, because hey, we hip hop artists, yes, but there's nothing wrong with your R&B and your country and your instrumentals. You know what I mean? Your jazz, you know, whatever. You know, we diverse in this group, so you know, I was in them fields, man. I was like, all right, it's an R&B kind of Sunday. You know what I mean? Let's do it. You know, and of course, without further ado, gotta say this in there, not just because my man's is here, but because it's legit, the truth. Your boy was bumping some Plain Janes today because I had to just bump the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this the man we honoring and celebrating on the day on Pastor I. So I had to, you know, have some Plain Janes in my playlist, man. And I just had that baby on straight shuffle. Heard that Atlanta 1996. You know what I mean? With the Outkast sample in that baby. When I was loving it, I was, you know, you name it, man. It was a little bit of everything, man. Some classic joints with you and Young Noah, and I mean, it was beautiful to listen to. It was a Plain James kind of day, so you know, we had to go there. But that does it for pretty much this edition of What's in Your Ears.
What's in your ears?
Let's go. You know what I mean? so Cuzzo.
Yes.
Any entertainment news been going on lately within this week so far? I know we in the middle of the week right now, but what's been going
on? Did you want to go new releases first, or did you want to go like entertainment news?
Let's go entertainment news, and we'll come on back to the new releases. You know what I mean? We'll bring it back to that point.
All right, so for me, something that caught my eye, I believe it was last night, but CEO of Off-White label and the artistic director of Louis Vuitton's Men Edition, Virgil, did cover art for Pop Smoke's album, Shoot for Stars, Aim for the Moon, and it was not well received at all. Y'all seen it?
That's Yeah, 50 been going on. 50 Cent been putting a campaign together, trying to find a new cover for the album.
Yeah, it's it looks like very rushed. It looks like a novice did Photoshop on it. But yeah, people aren't happy. They feel like it was disrespectful. It doesn't honor Pop Smoke at all. So that's kind of been what's on the radar this week. And it kind of brings attention to Virgil because a lot of people feel like him, along with some other designers, they kind of get away with not doing much, but because they have a hype beast following, they amplify it up, and then it becomes this like super expensive brand, but it's not really original. It's not really doing much.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's amazing how, you know, certain companies and things, they have this particular vision as if they know the person, but then the streets be hearing it and it's just like, nah, bro, that ain't it. You know, and they just like,
it ain't it.
What's up with
streets will speak.
They do, and it just goes to show when you got a legacy out here, man, and you doing your thing, the streets got your back regardless, man. They're gonna make sure you repped right. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't just gonna put out no random Michael Jackson compilation album. You know what I mean? Not Michael Jackson right? Everybody gonna be like, nah, bro, this MJ. You gotta make sure this right. So, hey, shout out to 50. Shout out to the streets that's looking out for popping and making sure things go right in his honor.
Maybe. Now, did we catch the BET Awards on Sunday?
Man,
I missed it, man. I wanted to watch it, but I was tired of it, man. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Let me tell you, I peeped. I had no, I forgot, truth be told, because of what's been going on with the whole Corona stuff, right? Like, I totally forgot that we were in the month of June, where I'm like, oh yeah, this is BET Awards month, right? And so when I saw and I scrolled and I saw like virtual BET Awards, I'm like,
virtual?
Oh, this is new. How do you do a virtual award show? I was like, what? Like, yeah, that was awkward.
It was awkward. So I didn't watch the whole thing. I definitely caught the highlights, or I watched the performances because that's what we really watch them for anyway. Yeah. I haven't really sat and watched an award show in a while. I don't know if it's because of my age or because I think that they've gotten kind of watered down. I don't know. But I did watch it because I was like, this is the first virtual award show. And I was like, it's going to be weird them performing to the TV, which I guess is a music video in a sense regardless. But when you're watching an award show performance, I like when the camera pans to the audience or they zoom in on one person because they got some petty stuff going on. Like, it just makes the award show a little more exciting. But I think it was dope what they did. The performances were actually really nice. They definitely implemented what's going on right now, whether it be like a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, whether it be face masks, whether it be Alicia Keys had a performance where she had the names of everybody killed or slain going back to Trayvon Martin. So I think it was dope that they were here for entertainment, but they weren't ignoring the fact that we're going through something right now, especially it being the BET Awards. So that's important. A couple performances that stood out to me. Wayne Brady did a tribute to Little Richard. And I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome.
Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he did a tribute to Lil Richard. Lil Wayne did a tribute to Kobe. Not some of Wayne's best work, but I respect it because it was a tribute to Kobe. Summer Walker and Usher did a situation together, and it was
okay.
beautiful. And I think that this made me maybe not respect Summer Walker more, because I definitely understand that she's talented, but seeing that performance, I was like, okay, she can sing, and this sounds good, and this looks good, okay. And then D Smoke and Sir did a performance together, and they brought out their mom.
Oh wow!
Are y'all familiar with those artists?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I love D Smoke. I love Sir, and the fact that they brought their mom out was awesome. So all in all, high five BET Awards. Pretty entertaining.
High five BET Awards.
Good job, BET Awards.
You take what you can work with.
Yes.
You make the best out of a situation. And you kept it black, because a lot of people felt like BET kind of lost their blackness over the years a little bit, somewhat. But we're not going to go there too much.
Megan Thee Stallion proved yet again that they're putting something inside of that Texas water, because the strength in those knees is amazing. Like, I don't understand. The strength in the knees, my goodness.
Yeah, you telling me, boy. I was like, okay, hey, you can
all
do
right,
that.
Megan.
More power to you, man. Go right ahead. But yeah, wow. Nonetheless, I would say what stuck out to me, I mean, it was probably the talk of the whole town, of course, is the Baby and the remix that him and Roddy Ricch did, you know, Rockstar, and how it just represented the whole, you know, BLM movement, and just signifying, I mean, just to see Lil Baby on the ground, and, you know, imitating the whole George Floyd situation, and literally, like, you know, rapping in the cause of it, you know, just to, like you said, to remind people, like, hey, we're trying to take your mind off things, you know, bring you into a sense of peace or healing or feel good, but then keep you aware, you know, to, like, hey, keep this thing going out here, you know we got to do something about this, you know. So I thought that was pretty dope to see. And like I said, seeing some of those award presentations are what kind of threw me off, just because you're sitting here, you know, they looking like us, you know, they in the room, and I'm like, this is gonna take some getting used to. But if this is a new norm, then I don't know how much longer. No, because award shows, people in regular clothes, and they in their closet or in front of a wall, like, just, hey, I'm here. Your nominees for your favorite award is
here, take
right
it away.
Here. Next thing you know, and your winner is no drum roll, no nothing, no crowd, just so and so. There you go.
Right.
The Baby's your winner. Okay.
Thanks. I'm on Zoom. Thanks for my award.
You know, like, all right. So again, shout out to you, BET Awards. But what else interesting stuck out so far within this week, entertainment wise, Cuzzo?
So this actually happened last week, but I didn't bring it up because I didn't listen to it. But Beyonce's Black Parade, I did listen to it this week.
Okay.
And I love Beyonce. I don't want to be attacked by the Beehive, but I'm not somebody who, like, as soon as she drops something, I like run after it. And I think it may be because I'm a hater. I don't know. But ever since she did the remake to Before I Let Go, I was like,
There we go.
you know, so I didn't know what to expect, but I was happy when I listened to this track. She's talking about a lot, and then it sounded good, so I appreciate it. What do you guys think about Wash Us in the Blood, both the song as well as the visual by Kanye West?
Plain, I would love to know your thoughts on that.
Please
first,
tell us your thoughts.
Please let me know what you thinking about that, man.
If I'm totally honest, I feel like the song wasn't just great. I don't think it was trash, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it was just, oh man, like they killed it. But what I do respect is I respect the fact that like getting Travis Scott on the song. I look at it like he's still aware. He's still a genius when it comes to making music. So I think he's still aware and savvy enough to know, okay, if I am gonna go this different lane, a different direction, it still sonically has to be a certain kind of sound that's gonna appeal to people. I think he's still getting his feet wet. I think he's in new terrain. I think it's really hard to go in depth because people will say, you know, he's saved, he's a Christian or whatnot. That's cool, but we know it takes years and years of discipleship and learning and training to really be in depth with what it is you believe and how to be able to articulate that. So right now, I think what's making a lot of Christians feel like the songs are not really that dope is that he's really on some surface level type stuff. And we've heard thousands of Christian rappers say the same thing as he's already saying. So it's like just because it's not this Kanye don't mean it's special. Like it's Christian rappers who probably have better production on their songs than what we heard on that song. Yeah. And I think the bar is set so high because it's the same dude from College Dropout. This is the same dude from Graduation. This is the same dude who has classic albums, classic music. When they hear anything below the standard that's been set, they're gonna be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's trash. I just don't think it's just amazing either. But I'm so embraced. I'm interested to see how things develop. I'm interested to see how he kind of gets into his comfort zone and he finds himself and finds his sound. And the more he develops in his relationship and in his walk, he's able to talk about stuff more. I think it's gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's just he's still kind of getting his feet wet. I feel like.
I can appreciate that perspective because I was going to ask you, but you pretty much answered it. Like you all as Christian hip hop artists, how do you feel about a Kanye doing a song like this or doing Jesus is King? Because some would say they think it's just for the hype, but other people are open to, like Plain said, like his journey and that this is a new path for him and he's going to eventually get stronger in that walk.
Yeah, I mean, you can see like his heart is there, and you can see. I mean, anybody who really knows, like you saw that even with Jesus Walks. You know what I mean? Like his heart has always been there, and I feel like he always has somebody in his ear, a little bit of trying to keep him on track, even when he was secular with it, and even now, like Plain beautifully put it, it's a new process. You know what I mean? There's so many artists, I'm pretty sure Mace probably went through this in a way. Now, by no means is Mace in the level of a Kanye to me, but I'm just saying, like, when he went into this, field at that time, people forget Mace was on top of the world back when he decided to cross over and change his life and go to God. So at the same time, when he did what he did, it was a new process for him. Same thing, I always mix it up. I want to say Salt. I believe it was Salt from Salt and Pepper. Same case with her. You know what I mean? Hopping on with Kirk Franklin. It's a new process. But more than anything, I agree with Plain, man. It's respect comes to when you get the Travis Scotts and so many others that you can influence on a track like that. And it just goes to show, like, okay, he out here talking to people. You know what I mean? He we see him. He be out in these prisons. He out here doing his thing. He's still, if one would argue, even when you're a new Christian, he's still probably in his baby phase. You know what I mean? So it's like you get on fire in your baby phase, and then when he start to grow and really find himself and grow and start going through some true hardships, man, the sky's the limit for this guy, man. So the song as a whole, at first threw me off, man. Like I had to listen to it a couple more times. The hook, of course, definitely stood out in a sense in its own way, especially once Travis kind of put his twist within it too. And I like Travis Scott. There's something about his sound that really gravitates to me, man. I really like Travis Scott's sound on anything. So that was a dope collab to do with the song itself. Like I said, I agree with Plain Jane's there. Necessarily not the greatest classical song ever, but as Kanye continues to build himself and continues to get better and better with this, man, if they ever collab again on something similar to this, it'll be probably 20 times better than that was. But it was cool for what it was, man. I mean, the message more than anything, definitely. So I did check on Twitter when he dropped it, and I saw a lot of Kanye fans. They were quick to just be like, "Yo, this is the hardest song ever! Like, bro, let's go!" And I'm like,
"You have to be honest with our artists. Like, you have to be art." But did y'all see the video for it, or did you just listen to the single?
I didn't know it was a video. I just heard the song.
It's a video.
I saw the video, and much like a lot of Kanye's videos, it was very strange, but I get what it was trying to depict in a way. It was,
and like, maybe I'm not deep enough. I don't know, but like, I think visuals are very important because, as we know, the music industry has a lot of spooky stuff going on. As far as what I hear, a lot of subliminal messaging is put into a lot of the songs. So if we have a song that's talking about Jesus and covering us in his blood, like, to have images of like goat faces and goat heads, which are usually linked to some demonic type stuff, it just makes you kind of go like, what are we talking about here? Now, I don't know if the video I saw was the official video. I feel like it was. But if it is, in fact, I just think that it's important as artists that, you all are mindful about the images you're putting out, and is it really representing the lyrics the way that it's supposed to?
That's a good interpretation. I like that.
I want to check it. Oh man, I've been doing a little bit of everything. I definitely want to check it out.
Plain, I think it's a sight to see. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a sight to see. Because even then, it was kind of like a little strange for my taste. But again, I get the artisticness. Like, I see to some degree what he was trying to show. But at the same time, it can put you in that light of maybe this is still the part where he's still transitioning and really trying to figure things out. That's all I could really do to justify it.
He been doing that with 10 plus years. He was over in a whole different lane. Then he put albums, My Dark Twisted Fantasy, and it's a renewal of the mind that has to take place. You know what I'm saying? So it's you really just starting from scratch, trying to find a new sound, a new direction, as well as going through things in your life. And I think I saw something one time where, there's certain things he's trying to implement with his family and his home and kids. She kind of like, hey, you on your journey, but I still got to go out here and do what I got to do. So, I mean, we see that on TV. Pretty sure if that's happening consistently, you got a conflict of interest right there going on in the house. Either way you want to raise your kids, then you got all these people saying, well, he may not be saved for real. Then you got the people who say he is saved, but the music sucks. You got some folks, it's like, it's a whirlwind of emotion and different things going on. And you got to try to block all that out and come in and quality music. It's going to take some time, for him to get seasoned enough in this area in order to be able to do that at a quality level, I think. So I just try to show him a little grace.
Man, that's really all we can do. But I love it, man. I love it. That's shout out to Plain, man. Always giving the legit answer. Dropping exactly. There's a reason this brother is guest number one when it comes to this thing, man. See, y'all, I gotta give y'all the gems. You know what I'm saying? I gotta let y'all get some spiritual gems in this thing. Because we're gonna have a little bit of every artist that we could try to bring in this thing, man. We gotta give y'all the real positivity to kick this thing off right. that being said, Cuzzo, let's go ahead and transition to some new releases, and let's see what's been hitting these waves lately. What's been coming out so far?
So we're recording sooner than we usually do, so it hasn't been a full week. But Wash Us in the Blood was one of my new releases, and another new release is actually from, I would say, like a underground independent artist, so to speak. This is a friend of mine. We went to high school together, but he put out a single called 100 Grand, and the artist's name is Nova Styles. Really dope. Really vibey. He's talking about, you know, obviously 100 grand is, I want to be successful. I'm definitely chasing this bag, but I'm not willing to compromise certain things to get there, whether it be my family, whether it be my my morals. So it's kind of talking about that journey. So it's dope.
Awesome.
That's one of my new releases.
Okay. So Plain, I'm gonna let you take this one, man, because you the meat of the conversation today.
Yeah.
So go ahead, man. Let's talk about some new releases cooking up, man. You know, whether you know somebody from the camp that just dropped a little something, or you know, there's a little rumor out there you got a little something cooking up that way, you know. So
yeah, and the birdies tell us.
Come on now. The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, man, I got an album putting together, man. It's gonna drop. I'm saying the 24. I talked to my mixing and mastering guy, Lord willing.
Come on.
I plan on dropping it, man. July 24th. Name of the album is called From the Heart. I originally had a title from it. I was gonna call it The South because that's where I'm from, and just the vibe of the music, just that kind of southern kind of sound to it. Yeah. But I took some songs out, added a few, and when I listened to the project, I don't know, it was just like I touched a lot of different things, whether we're talking about social injustice, just life in general. I mean, COVID came and, you know, the police are doing what they're doing, but before that, life was still happening. People were going through real stuff already, so it's like we just adding layers and layers and layers of issues on top of issues, and people out here looking for hope. They're looking for direction. And I'm not one of those Christians that believe that I always have the answer. You know what I'm saying? I have my days where I ain't really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Some days I am frustrated. Some days I am angry. Some days I am confused. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of wanted to write music from perspective to let people know just because you're going through these different emotions and you're going through these different challenges, it doesn't mean you're not saved. It doesn't mean you're less of a person. It doesn't mean that whatever anybody want to say, like, not necessarily true. It's just like we human and we going through this thing trying to figure it out one day at a time. And so I just wanted to be transparent, wanted to be honest, and just give people just the real, you know what I'm saying? Like from my perspective, you know what I'm saying? Give them but everybody's truth is relative. You know, what I say is real to me might be fake to you, you know what I'm saying? So, but from my vantage point, I just want to give people just the real perspective, what goes on in my mind, what's going on in my life, and how I see what's going on. And I wanted to definitely make sure, I think right now, you see a lot of artists that's definitely going to talk about the things that's going on as far as injustice, because I feel like it's very insensitive, I feel, in my opinion, to put something out and just move on with your life when people are not able to go home to their families. You know, children are wondering, why did the police kill my parents? Or people in the community losing loved ones and different things of that nature. So you definitely want to talk about that. Then I'm a black man. Like when I get pulled over, you never know when it's going to happen to me. You know what I'm saying? When I go out here, I've been profiled. I've been called out of my name. I didn't experience this stuff. And I think for the longest time, it's certain things that Christians feel like kind of taboo. They really don't want to talk about because they don't want to ruffle any feathers. But I think now it's like we getting killed out here. You know what I'm saying? Like we out here getting taken advantage of. We getting marginalized. They're knocking down our communities, building them up. People can't afford to live places, pushing everybody in the hood. On top of the fact that all the drugs, all the diseases, all this stuff seem to impact African Americans more than any other culture. It's like, if we're not going to speak up and say nothing now, you know what I'm saying, when we ever going to say something? You know, so I think people want you to be a Christian, but I can be black and be a Christian as well. You know what I'm saying? I can express who I am as a black man in my experience And you can't tell me Jesus didn't deal with social issues, because the scripture very plainly says, okay, it was a Samaritan woman. Why did they mention it was a Samaritan woman? You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't supposed to have dealings with those people. It's the same thing now. People feel like you're not supposed to have dealings with certain cultures and races, but he showed he went outside of those barriers and still did the right thing. So I think I just want to touch on all that stuff, man. Just life, racism, mental health. You know, so that's another issue that we really don't talk about. Just the battle that goes on within the mind. Just a lot of different stuff, man.
Come on, man.
Right.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And we're gonna touch more on that, because again, you the main guest that we have on today. And so we definitely gonna dig a little deeper behind, you know, try to break down a little bit, you know, if you able to reveal a certain track that stands out to you on this album so far that you're working on, you know, we're gonna kind of dig into that. But in the meantime, I guess new releases on this end, like Cuzzo said, we kind of in the middle of the week. But seeing as how probably by the time this hit them airways, I don't know, it just depends. But I also kind of have a little project coming out this Friday. I kind of low-key dropped that by a mistake, I guess, last week. You know, y'all didn't hear that from me, but you did hear from me. So it's official. Your boy is dropping another EP. I dropped the EP. It's actually part of a series that I call Me, Myself, and God. And much like Plain, man, just I guess really this kind of was, I didn't know when I was going to really drop. This was initially going to be a full album, and I just decided one day I felt like this needed to just be broken down into like a EP series, kind of tell a little story. And it's really about transparency, man. It's about, you know, keeping it real with yourself, keeping it real with your surroundings, keeping it real with your struggles. And I guess this just goes to show how God works, because I didn't expect all of what was going on now to go on. And when Me dropped, it got a really good reception from people. There was some tracks on there that people really vibing and rocking with. And again, I never thought it was going to relate so heavy to what's going on right now, but it just goes to show this was the time to release it. So Myself officially is part 2 of this series, and it's going to be dropping this Friday. Some really dope tracks to listen out for that I think people really gonna really like, you know, like and vibe with. So people, if you're looking for new music on Friday, there you go. You got Myself from your boy Highlight Reel dropping this Friday to your airwaves, and my boy Plain Jane. So that about sums it up for new releases in this segment. So without further ado, I'm gonna give y'all some history. We're gonna do a little history real quick. So check this out, y'all. It has been officially, as of June 29th, it has officially been the 16-year mark since an artist by the name of Lil Wayne, Dwayne Carter. We share the same name, go figure. This guy dropped The Carter, his 4th studio album, June 29th, 2004. Production on the album was mostly handled by Cash Money's former in-house producer, Manny Fresh. You already know. And of course, it has spawned sequels since then, such as The Carter 2, The Carter 3, 4, and of course, 5. Therefore, I would like to ask my fellow hosts of today, what are y'all thoughts on this 4th studio album of The Carter? What does it rank amongst y'all top in Lil Wayne's discography of both mixtapes and albums? You know, so we got to throw them both in there. You know what I'm saying? So where does that rank to y'all? Where's The Carter rank in y'all opinion?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to OTS, by the way. I got to shout out the OTS group because this was posted. I like to thank probably Mr. Derek, because he's the hardest working man in OTS.
Hardest working man in the media business.
There you go. And he's always posting these facts about singles and albums from artists that we know and love that dropped literally on their anniversary. So it's tough, I know, because this man has so many great projects But if you had to really just try to pick, where would you say the Carter ranks in your, even if we just broke it to a top 5?
I'm not good at ranking. I'm not. I know that this Carter probably isn't. I didn't know the songs in and out on this Carter as I did as like the Carter 2 or Carter 3. That's just me personally. I just remember the vibe around this time. This was when Wayne was about to take over and be on everybody's neck and be on everybody's remix, everybody's hook, everybody's everything.
Yes.
So I just remember the time and the
time.
energy that he had. But yeah, it's hard for me to rank.
It's tough. This kind of reminds me of our first episode when we broke down Usher and his albums, you know, from start to finish. Well, let me just let y'all know that in case you're wondering, well, okay, well, what singles was on the Carter? Well, believe it or not, it only had 3 singles off of this album. And my co-host Lovely just mentioned the very first single, which came out October 5th, 2004, Go DJ, which featured the infamous Manny Fresh, you know, giving that infamous hook that, you know, makes you to this day say, hey, go DJ. That's my DJ playing. You already know when we had a City Taker show, we see DJ Radical. Right. Hey, that's my DJ. Go DJ. You already know. So, or DJ B4EY. Shout out to you, my friend. I know you, hey, same case. DJ is getting love everywhere from this very song. And then, of course, single number 2, some of you may remember, some of you may not, Bring It Back, released April 17th of 2004, followed by Earthquake, released March 27th, 2005. So, is it tough, y'all? Is it still kind of tough to decide?
I think I'll have to go with Cuz on that one. I think the Carter 2 was probably the best of Carter series. In my personal opinion, I think the Carter 2 was. I think his best overall project, personally, though, was a mixtape. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
That Dedication mixtape.
Ooh, okay.
That Dedication mixtape, I think that's the best body of work that Lil Wayne put out, in my personal opinion.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
what about you?
Carter 2.
Oh, okay, Carter. That's the one, you know, a lot of times Carter 2 and 3 seem to be the 2 that people try to put in and out in that top right there. You know what I mean? Like some people say it was 2, some people say it was 3, you know.
For me,
I never hear 4.
It was 3. Like me and my best friend would be driving around after high school, like singing the songs word for word. We had music videos before Vines and all that was out. Like we were on the little digital camera making our little music videos. The Carter 3 just has more memories for me out of the Carters.
I'd have to agree with that. I'm kind of like, I mean, singles wise, this Carter with Go DJ, it was kind of like, all right, I remember that. And then when Carter 2 came, it had some more singles that were like a little more popping. But Carter 3 seems to resonate from like start to finish to me for some reason. Like that was senior year of high school for your boy. And it was just like, at that point, as Cuzzo was saying, like this album seems to be the one that catapulted Wayne, where it's like, oh, he's like coming in his form, like prime, you know what I mean? Like, and Carter 3 just signifies like at the top of my game status. Like as he mentioned, what was it? You know, I mean, the man did a song with Jay-Z on there, and literally it was like, don't forget, you know what I mean? Like put Lil Wayne in your top, you know what I mean? When you got Jay-Z and Biggie and Pac and all them, put Lil Wayne up in there too, and it was just like he could say that at that time, you know what I mean? He was dominating again.
Before the Carter, it was wobbly, drop it like it's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a fact, though.
You couldn't understand nothing. That's all you knew. It was just straight slang from Wayne. You know what I mean? Bling, bling, and all that. You
bling, bling.
Yeah. You
know? I think what the Carter did was, even though it's probably not the best out of the Carters, what it did was show the growth of Lil Wayne. Like, look, I'm about to start now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was rapping before, but now I'm like,
I'm rapping.
I'm about to start spitting for real. You know what I'm saying? That was, I think by the time we got to the Carter 2 and 3, he was really in his bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey,
auto-tune ruined Lil Wayne. I think when he started overusing that auto-tune, that's when things kind of went down.
Now, let me ask you that, Plain. Do you think the auto-tune version of Wayne kind of set a lot of what we hear in today's music with the melodies and the auto-tunes and everything? Like,
I think T-Pain came out with the auto-tune, and I think he influenced Lil Wayne.
mm-hmm.
And I think Lil Wayne just started doing it too much to the point where he wasn't even rapping no more after a while. Every song, he was just on that lean in the studio, just moaning and whining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he just kind of lost that pop that Lil Wayne. You know, Lil Wayne would hit you with the punchlines, the clever, you know what I'm saying, wordplay and all that.
Yeah.
He just started going whining on syrup, you know what I'm saying? And I think, but I can't, now I think about it, yeah, because then you got Future came from that, you know what I'm saying? Came from that.
Young Thug and
because Future inspired like Lil Baby and all the rest of these people. So yeah,
Look, man, I'm telling you, it's crazy how like you sit there and you wonder, like, I don't know, Lil Wayne might have had a little something to do with all these artists today, like
a lot of something.
Like a lot of something. So it's crazy to sit there and think about, but nonetheless, I have to agree with all of you guys on the start of this one. It just signified his come up, but 2 and 3 signified like, hey, where we go. 4 for me was kind of like still kind of got it, but you kind of fading a little bit, bro. Like you still got it, but you fading a little bit. Like
actually mixtape though. If y'all don't remember it, man, go back and check it out. He was just rapping on that boy. Like he was killing.
He was. You know what he was. But I'm gonna tell you another favorite. Now, see, the one that rivals that one to me personally is No Ceilings. That No
Ceilings beginning.
That No Ceilings mixtape, bro.
Ceilings was. That's a classic.
On my birthday, I played it all day. Yeah, sure did.
Like that No Ceilings had people on fire, man. I was in college at that point. Like everybody had that playing in every stereo, like just everywhere you went. And it was like, yeah, he got a classic on his hands with this one. Like it's like, boy. So nonetheless, it signifies a lot. It signifies that, as we mentioned in the last episode, we aging, I guess, because 16 years since the Carter came out.
You don't even realize it's been that long. It's so wild.
It's like, wow, 16 years already, man. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But it also goes to show that it's a classic in its own right. Lil Wayne is definitely a GOAT, I guess, depending on where you rank him in your all-time rappers. But nonetheless, that's your history lesson for today. So without further ado, let's get back to our guest of the hour, Mr. Plain James. Yes. Good sir. So talk to the people that don't already know about trap theology. Explain to the people what brought trap theology to you and what made you create this movement.
Man, really, man, it was God, man. People say that all the time, but I'm just gonna explain like it's my background, man, just being involved in the streets and whatnot. When I decided, when God called me out of the streets, you know what I'm saying? Inspired me to change my life. I've always had a desire to go back to the places where I came from and reach them because I ain't never want to run off with the plug. I ain't never want to just be the guy, oh yeah, I'm good now, so bump them and just move on. I just felt like if God could change me, he could change anybody, you know what I'm saying? So early on, just making mixtapes, that was my whole goal. I would go back and just give out free music in the hood and whatnot. And one night, man, I just prayed, you know what I'm saying? I was laying down, it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. You know how you had them nights you can't sleep, you just be up. And hit my mind, I just had the concept of trap theology. And so I put it on the shirt, and I went to South by Southwest. That was around, I want to say 2015, 2016. I had threw it on the shirt. And when I was at South by Southwest, everybody was like, man, that's dope, man. Where can I get that shirt? And I had the only one that was made, you know what I'm saying?
One of one.
Yeah, so it just got a real good response. And man, I just kind of like, okay, I need to develop this. So I put out the first Trap Theology album. It was just going to be a project. And then it went from a project to a shirt until people like, man, this is a movement, man. I believe in what you're doing, this and that. And so I was like, man, what is trap theology? And basically what it is about attacking negative mindsets with the truth. You know, you can look at somebody and say, man, you need to stop selling dope, man. You need to stop robbing. You need to stop hustling. You need to stop doing this. But until you get to the root of the issue on why they doing that, you know, anybody can just stop trying to, you know what I'm saying, stop trying to behave a certain kind of way. But when you got to get to the root of the issue in order to iron it out and really get a real solution. So it's basically like whether you're dealing with greed, lust, pride, whatever it is, whatever emotion, whatever thought that makes you feel trapped. Like theology is the study of God. When you study who God is, you find out who Christ is, you realize what he done for you. Whatever you feel trapped by, you feel bound by, he provides freedom from that. So that's what trap theology is. I just want to attack those negative mindsets with the truth to help people to break whatever cycle they feel stuck in.
So this just shows me how clatched I am, because I am a Grady baby. So I saw trap and I was like, this is amazing, because I think we can't argue that trap music started here. So I was appreciative of you definitely being a Christian hip hop artist and definitely bringing people to God. You're still staying within the culture and I'm staying relevant. So as hip hop Christian artists, do y'all ever deal with any backlash from like church folks because you are rapping and kind of still staying relevant into what everybody else is doing, or how do you deal with that?
I've definitely ran into that. I remember I was at my first tour, man. Shout out to my bro Jericho, man. Jericho, Florida. Super cool dude, man. He's a white guy. And he didn't know me from a bucket of paint. You know what I'm saying? He hit me up when I'm going on tour, man. Lord put you on my heart. I want you to ride with me. And we rode out. We riding deep, you know what I'm saying, in his whip. It was him, his wife. They had a newborn baby in the car. So we really getting it out the mud. And we was in Okeechobee, Florida. And and when we got there, you kind of feel the vibe, because he a white dude. He got long dreads, though. You know what I'm saying? Then they look at him. I'm a black person in the building, literally. You know what I'm saying? So I come up there, and they just looking at us. You know, the kids were kind of excited because it's going to be a rap concert, but the adults were like, So we get up there, and we actually, not only with the music, we actually ministered. You know what I'm saying? And we actually were able to articulate our beliefs in a way where they can receive it. And the pastor of the church came up to me after it was over and said, man, I want to apologize to you. I said, for what? He said, man, it's probably like 5 or 6 times during this week I tried to find a way to cancel this event. Felt like, you know what I'm saying, y'all were using the devil's music. But he said, today y'all convinced me that I was wrong, and I just want to apologize to you. And it showed me that I can't put God into this limited box of my personal understanding. And that was like one of many situations I had like that. Where people who have just been challenged in what is traditional, how God has been presented to them in the past, and now they're seeing it like, wow, you know, they're not compromising the gospel; they're just delivering it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We in the South, man, so we in the Bible Belt, so some places stuck to those hymns and traditional means, and I feel it, you know, I don't get too upset about it. I understand, hey, this is what you prefer. It's not everybody's taste. But I just pray, you know what I'm saying, that they know, like, you know, God is available to everybody, and he's going to come in different flavors. And I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity to be able to help somebody or be a blessing, or for somebody to be able to be a blessing and help you because it didn't come in a particular style or form that you expected it to come in.
Man, and I can relate to that too, as a Christian artist myself, man. Much like playing, man, had them experiences before, but in a different way, you know what I mean? Because like I would always kind of be the one that's kind of nervous in the traditional crowd, because like coming up in a traditional style, you know, and Cuzzo can relate, you know, we both kind of came out of them like super sheltered kind of like backgrounds where like, you know, it's super churchy, so you get caught up in that. And then when you start rapping, you know, because of the culture of like what we just talked about, the Lil Waynes and the Young Jeezys and so many different artists, the T.I.s and all that we were like, oh, okay, you know we probably shouldn't be listening to this, but yeah, we listen to it because we love it and it's cool. But then when you get changed and God really start bringing you to him, all of a sudden you welcome in the church, and now, you know, you like, okay, wait, I'm called to do, you want me to do this Christian rap? Really? How this gonna work? Because that don't seem too well received over here.
Right.
You know, and then you know, God deal with you, you write some dope songs, you bring something different to the table with your craft. And I done had moments where I remember one time I was in Vegas and I was doing a showcase around Stellar Wars weekend. And I remember I'm literally like the only Christian rapper in the whole lineup. Everybody else was a choir, quartet, or singer. And I'm like, this is gonna be weird. To top it off though, the crowd was completely like, they were hard. They wouldn't like do anything. They would sit there and just watch. And it was kind of like, all right, this is weird. Like, how am I gonna do this when it's time to go up? And you know, I had a drummer with me. He got on and he did a sound check. So when he was ready to go, I was like, all right, let's do this thing. So I got up there and did my thing. And to be the only rapper up there, and I got interaction from that crowd that was not interacting with anybody else, signified, and it kind of showed me like, interesting, like, okay, there's something ministering to them to make them interact like this. Like, they're feeling what God is using me to give them. And the crazy part about it was, I would have people literally come up to me, and much like Plain James was saying when he had the pastor come up to him and say, you know, I misjudged you. I would have people come up to me and say, and I'm sure Plain has gone through this, where people be like, you know what, I ain't really for this rap stuff. I don't really like that, but I respect you, bro. Like, I like your message. Like, I love what I enjoyed you up there. Like, you really did this. And I would always hear that in any traditional like setting. But when you go to the streets, you know, where they love it, it's a whole different atmosphere, man. You out there and you know, whether
turning up with the people.
Yeah, you turning up with the people. You know what I mean? Whether you taking it outside to them or, you know, whatever the case may be, they rocking. And that just makes the experience that much more fun, because then you rocking, and now the ministry come and it's just good stuff. So it's crazy what we go through, but we love it, man. We wouldn't trade it for anything, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Right. So question, do y'all feel that Christian hip hop is like under gospel, or are you your own separate genre?
I definitely think it's its own separate genre. Like when I think about the gospel scene, you know, you look like the Kirk Franklins, and I got a homie who do gospel. My dude Uncle Reese, he's in that gospel circle.
Yeah,
it's just a completely different kind of environment. And I think what Kirk is doing, I think Kirk was trying to implement more of the Christian hip hop side into the gospel side.
Mm-hmm.
He been doing stuff with Lecrae and whatnot. I know a couple of years ago he signed Christian Grey to his label. I don't know whatever happened with that, but he signed him. And he was trying to dive into that CHH world a little bit. But I definitely think it's the difference. I think in the gospel world, it's a little bit more traditional. And you see the gospel artists starting to come over now, and, you know, the sound is a little more current and stuff. I think Kirk was one of the main people who spearheaded that. But it's still kind of in that transition where Christian hip hop is just like, I think it's a little bit more raw. I think it's a little bit more. And oddly enough, I think when it comes like theology and like sound teaching and sound information, I think you'll probably get more from Christian hip hop than you will from the majority of your songs on the gospel.
I felt like I was being called out. I was listening to your first Trap Theology, the 2016, and Stop Complaining. I was like, I'm triggered. I was like, I do wake up and I be complaining about work. I ain't even pray yet. Like, so I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, man. Gotta use your own song to jump you off sometimes. But
Ooh, Plain, tell them. Like, I thought that was just me sometimes when I would listen to stuff that I did, and I'm like, yo, is my own song ministering to me right now?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, hold up. Like, I wrote you. Hold up. What's going on? Like,
life hits you, man. Sometimes life will hit you with stuff, and you know all these things, you know all these scriptures, you know who God is, you know what He did for you. But life will hit you sometimes and have you in one of them spots, man. And like sometimes the people who encourage others need to be encouraged. You praying for people, you. It's like it's just that thing, and I think sometimes people think because you have a certain skill set or ability to articulate your words and do different things, they feel like you just got it under control. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Always the case. And I think sometimes people confuse talent with maturity. Just because somebody is talented doesn't mean they're necessarily mature in every area. So you just got to give, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's important for people to know, like, no matter what you see somebody on the stage doing, whether they're a pastor, a rapper, or whatever it is, like, they're going through the same thing that you're going through. On top of the fact that now I also have to put on the issue of I have to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's presenting myself a certain way, because if somebody see me acting off color or doing something crazy, they're going to criticize and try to tear down everything that I've been doing. People don't remember the good stuff you do. They look for that one thing. They take it and magnify it. And now your whole ministry is discredited off of one bad moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot, man. It's a lot to deal with.
It is, man. It is. And so I would actually love to ask you this question, man, because this is a question that in our circle, in our genre, man, this gets asked all the time, but more so, especially with what's going on right now, currently in the world, you know, especially as African Americans and everything. Where, you know, a lot of people ask right now what have been going on, like, oh man, where's the church at in this situation right now, right? They're like, hey, where's the church at? Christian hip hop, even before what was going on right now, people would look at us as that up and coming genre right now because like we were underrated, but in a way more lyrical, because like people get tired of like the same rap and the auto tune rap that's the mainstream keeps playing, right? And here we are, kind of like we can do that too, but more so we giving you the real, like you said, we giving you the see-through stuff you relate to, and you like, man, it's more to life than just the sex, the money, the drugs, and the party. And like, yo, we struggling, and this and that. So given what's been going on with the social injustices and with the, you know, hey man, am I ever gonna be better than what my color try to hold me as? Like, even because even we struggling as Christian artists with it, but what do you think the state of Christian hip hop as a genre is right now in this situation? Like, is this the time to rise up harder than ever and really get known, or is it like what do you think the struggle is right now?
So I think it's kind of different for me. It's like I look at it as there's so many different Christian artists, right? And you know, us who seem to have a certain level of prestige behind their name and doing this kind of stuff. I think really at this point, I think that's more so irrelevant than we would like to believe. I think every Christian artist has a sphere of influence. Like you have a community, you have people that you know in your circle, in your city, in your community, that you have the ability to reach, in your church that you have the ability to reach. And I think if we can all focus on, first and foremost, focusing on our own communities, our own neighborhoods, our own areas of influence, and minister to those people, if everybody had that mindset, we can reach more people. I think the issue that we're having is we have more Christian artists making music, hoping that their video or their song goes viral so they can reach all these people. And what you're actually doing is passing by ministry, trying to do ministry. It's like if my neighbor doesn't know that I'm saved and I believe in Christ and doesn't know what I do, like, why am I so gung-ho to try to go to California and tell them about what I do? It's like this person next to me is just as important as the people. So then it just boils down, okay, what is your motive? Is my motive to blow up and get famous and get bread? Now, being 100, nobody makes a song that says, I don't want nobody to hear this. Like, you want people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You want it as possible to hear your music. You want it to go everywhere. Yeah. But I think it's levels to it. Like for me, I grind it out. Like, I'm from Decatur, so people in Decatur,
everywhere is greater.
You know, from Decatur, they know what I do. I stay in Carrollton now. People in Carrollton, like, they know what I do. I've always made sure I impacted my personal community before God sent me out. So when I'm in Utah or wherever else God wants to send me, like, I haven't just forsaken my own community. So I think that's the key what Christian rappers need to focus on right now is because before this, if you be honest, everybody's making it about themselves. So now what we're seeing is this is an issue going on that's affecting all of us, and it's an issue that's bigger than us. And no one man can individually can accomplish fixing this problem. We all have to work together. So how can we do that? Focus on your city, focus on your area, and make sure that you're being as impactful as possible in that area. And if God wants to send you somewhere else, praise God. But don't pass by the people in your community trying to blow up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important.
I love that, brother. I love that answer. That's what I really, you told me exactly what I wanted to hear with that personally and asking that, because like I said, it's been hard sometimes when you're on your social media and you're seeing all, and you're not just seeing it from, a secular sense, you're seeing it even in the CHH sense, but there have been some artists out there who have kept it real, like, hey, it's a struggle, yes, but they still put God in it somewhere just to kind of remind, like, hey, this is what I represent. And I respect a lot of people who are doing that, because that's what I want to see more of, and it's just like a little tough sometimes, but that you hit that right on the nail, my friend. You hit that right on the nail. I love that.
Follow-up question, that mindset you're speaking of, to where it's important to have a certain impact within your community or within your area, do you think that is a struggle that we are specifically applying to Christian hip-hop artists, or should all artists kind of face that as well? Because there are a lot of artists who feel like, I'm not here to be a role model, I am just here to entertain, so don't look to me when it comes to guidance, because that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, I think it's two different things. I think that's more so the mindset that a Christian artist should have, because as a Christian artist, we feel like we hold the truth. We feel like we hold the keys to life. We feel like we have something that we're giving people that's going to not fix just their current situation, because your current situation might suck still, but we're giving you an internal perspective, something that you can hold on to say, hey, you may go through this, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't going to last always. And at the end of this, and that might not be the most appealing message because you want what you want right now. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we're still trying to give you hope, and we're trying to give you something that you can hold on to, that even if you are going through hell, you got a better understanding on why you're going through it, and you got somebody who's gonna walk through it with you. You got the Hebrew boy, but Jesus stood in the fire. He didn't take him out the fire; he stood in the fire with him. Now when you look at a secular rapper, it's like, I definitely think you should try to impact your community in a positive way, but the contradiction there is, in your music, you're telling me to sell dope, you're telling me to shoot people, you're telling me how you dogging out women, but then you want to come empower the community. That ain't really gonna. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to see how effective that'll be. And then you got most rappers that are killed in their hometown. So you got the jealousy, the envy, the animosity, because so-and-so, we went to high school together, you know what I'm saying? We stayed in the same neighborhood. I rap, he rap, but his song took off and mine didn't. When I hop in the car, I hear his song on the radio, you know what I'm saying? When I'm at the club, the DJ playing his song. Now, I think Lil Boosie was like, man, folks just be hypnotized with hatred. So now, in the very community I came from, I'm trying to show people, hey, it's possible to make it. They mad at you and they gonna kill you because they're angry. And that's something that's been embedded in us since slavery. Just when you look at the house dude and you got the field dude. Yeah. And they knew if we ever came together and empowered one another, we'd be unstoppable. So what they did is put us against each other. So now we feel like we gotta knock one down to come up. So I think that it's like, once again, you got to get to the root of all that. You're dealing with secular artists, Steve, and get the mindset to say, hey, let's come together and do stuff. Like, you got to kill Mike, and you got a T.I. now who coming out saying, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. But then when I throw your album on, you know what I'm saying, it's like everything you just album is saying something totally contradictory. And I know it's entertaining, but like I'm saying, it's something going on that's bigger than your album. There's something going on that's bigger than who you are as an individual. People are dying, you know what I'm saying? They look like you and look like, locked up for no reason. It's like, can you put that on hold for a minute and let's just focus on the situation at hand, try to give people the right thing. You got a responsibility. You got a platform. You got a responsibility, whether you want it or not. You know?
Period.
Okay. Period. Drop the mic on that note, man. That's all you can do. You know, and that's coming from good spiritual nuggets right there. So again, people, if you're listening, take note to that. You know what I mean? Regardless of what genre of music you listen to, regardless of what you believe in, man, we all still have a job to do. We got a community to influence, and we need it more than ever right now. So you getting that right here on Past the Ox, baby. Look, I'm telling you, we're going to give y'all some nuggets. Keep on listening now.
Keep on listening.
We're going to give y'all some nuggets. So, my boy, I want to talk about, real quick, Atlanta 1996.
Ooh, it's a vibe.
Appreciate it.
Now, I am partial ATLian. I am. I'm not completely born and raised, but Atlanta is home. You know, I am a Memphis, Tennessee native. Shout out to my boy, Mr. Dale Fro. All my Memphis natives out there. You know what I mean? You know, yeah. You know, like, but again, I love Atlanta because Atlanta and Memphis got a real dope connect anyway. So it's family. You know what I mean? But again, I'm partial ATLian, but I know y'all full-blooded all the way.
Grady baby.
ATLians. Come on, Grady. Grady. That's how you know I learned that terminology. It was like, oh that's what Grady baby. You know what I mean? Like it was like I wasn't born in Atlanta hospital. I wouldn't know that, but it's cool. You know what I mean? So talk about what brought you to Inspire and making that single, my brother. What brought that one up?
Man, first and foremost, man, Outkast is like probably the Outkast. That's my favorite. For our music, that's my favorite group, artist, whatever you want to call it, of all time. I definitely love Andre 3000, but I think Big Boy doesn't get enough respect because he had to rap with Andre for all those years.
Come on.
Get killed like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
You know, and so just that, man. When I came across that track, it was a guy in Germany who made that track. And it's like when I heard it, man, it took me back to when I first heard Jezebel. It took me back to when I heard Players Ball come out before then and all those songs. And I was like, man, I got to use this. And I just thought back. It was like 1996 when they dropped that album. Who was it? ATLians album. They dropped in '96. And that's one of my favorite albums. So it just had that vibe. So I said, man, I just want to do something, man, to kind of just go back to my roots, man. Go back where I come from. Show people, you know what I'm saying, what influenced me. And at the same time, they'll do it in my own way. You know what I'm saying? So that together, man. It's had fun actually, man. It just felt good to rap on that track. It was, you know, you take an Outkast sample, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you, and especially in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? You tread dangerous territory if you don't
you don't do it justice.
Yeah, they don't like do it justice, brother. Do it justice now.
Yeah.
But you definitely did it justice, man. You rode that thing, and you could tell you had fun with it. I mean, it's nothing like your hometown and then taking a legend, you know, or a group of legends from your hometown and just paying homage. You know what I'm saying? Paying homage to the city, paying homage to your favorite group, and then you putting a godly twist on it at that too. So that there's even that. So that it's a beautiful thing when you got the best of all of those worlds like that, man. So now I noticed you had a contest on Instagram, but did you ever think about doing like a challenge with that baby? Like you know, for my true ATLians out there, like let me see you, you know, find a historic spot in Atlanta and just like bump this 96, you know what I mean? Or like stand in front of Centennial Park and give me a, you know, like, did you ever think what was going through your mind when you was like dropping this single? Like, what I'm gonna do to like really push this thing?
What I was gonna do, man, I wanted to do like a remix, you know what I'm saying, and do different stuff, challenges with people from Atlanta to do it. But I'm gonna be honest, bro, like I pretty much know everybody who do Christian hip hop from Atlanta, bro. I literally had everybody from Atlanta hit me up like, hey, bro, you do a remix, bro, you gotta put me on. Do that. And it got to be in 100. It was just so overwhelming. I was just like, bro, I'm just gonna let it die, man. I'm gonna let it slide. But I still might come back and revisit it, man, just later on, because it's gonna be on the album anyway.
Yeah.
I might revisit it, man. But I don't know, man. It was just so I was just feeling bad. I was like, I can't put him on this mug and then not him. But then you don't want a 20-minute song, that ain't cool.
Yeah, no facts. Yo, y'all remember when Game did that One Blood remix and how long that scene back then? You know what I mean? Like that was like 11 minutes long, and you like, bro, so many artists that I know, legendary, people that was current, and then you like, but this is a long remix, bro. So like, I feel you, you know what I mean? And trust me, I done had that happen too with songs I dropped. Like people are like, yo, highlight, you gotta let me get on the remix of that, bro. And I'm like, man, I want to, but like, then if I do it with you, then they gonna want to get on it, and they gonna want to. I feel you, man. Sometimes you just got to do the instrumental challenge and be like, hey, throw your 16 on it, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
I might do the check. We were talking about doing another challenge song. I collab with Vintage Brothers on ATL. You know Scott Free.
Yeah.
His son Caleb, man, they got this dope line called Vintage Brothers. So they get like all kind of clothing they find and whatnot. And they got a dope site with a whole bunch of rare stuff. So they happen to have the sweater with the Olympic on it and all that stuff. So I said, okay, we can come together and do this. So he want to do another one next month. So
okay.
I might do the 16-bar challenge, man, so the one that can get the merchandise. We got some dope prizes, man. This time I want to do it, bro. It was just crazy, though. I was like, man, I ain't got time for this.
I feel you, man. Like, challenges will do that, but I feel like the world needs these challenges, man, because they are a good escape in a way, because they're fun, you know what I mean? And they're a good way to take your mind off of things, but definitely with the city, you talk about unity, man. I mean, man. 96, come on, y'all. We got to get on that, man.
Atlanta, you got to get behind that.
You got to get on it. So, you know, like I said, I'm partial ATLian. Outkast like you, man, is definitely one of my favorites all time. And I am partial ATLian, so why wouldn't I want to hop on that? So when that challenge does drop.
Oh, man, you get the stamp. You've been long enough,
man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Like, I love having my Atlanta card, man. I try not to lose it. I hold it dearly.
Please
but so let's talk about, like I said, we did touch on the fact that you got the album coming out From the Heart. You know, the plan is to release it this month. You know, prayers up. Let's see what happens. So what would have been some standout tracks without really giving your album away? You know, what's some tracks that really made you say, okay, when they hear this, they gonna really feel something? Like, I think God really showed out when I wrote this track right here. What's you know what I'm saying? Like, what stood out?
Shout out to my bro Fro, man. You mentioned he on the album, man. I got a track on I Still Believe with Fro on there. That's gonna be dope.
Okay.
I got my dude Jerry Sanders on there from God Over Money, man. He on the track.
Lyrical monster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. Yeah.
The homie Ray Knowledge, man. Me and him got a song together, man. That's probably one of my favorites on there, man. He known for shooting shows, but man, he a beast on the mic too, man.
Yeah, like people forget, they think he's just a video guy half the time. And when he step on that mic, Ray Knowledge will give it to you too now. So it's like, shout out to Ray Knowledge for that. Okay.
Yeah. If I had to say my favorite one on there though, it's probably this song, man. I got called From Me to You, and it's basically just talking about, I said, current events that's going on. Why as a black man we feel the way we feel, you know, and things that need to happen in order for us to feel otherwise. And I share my frustrations a little bit on there, but I always try to keep it in a sense where scripture say be angry but sin not, you know what I'm saying? So I let you know I'm angry, you know what I'm saying? But I'm letting you know how I feel, but you know. And that's probably be my favorite one. The album got more of a like a laid back kind of vibe. Like this album, I got a couple tracks what you would call like trap music.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I kind of been in this lane lately, man, what I call more conscious trap music. That's what I call conscious trap.
I like it. I like the way.
I love it. Is that a new genre you just cooked up there, brother?
You coined it right here, live action.
Exclusive on Past the Ox,
exclusive on Past the Ox, exactly.
Conscious trap.
Do you think heavy 808s, hi-hats, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got some of that on there, but like I was saying earlier, with the whole theme of trap theology, it's about getting to the root of the issue. It's about attacking the mindset that's causing you to respond a certain kind of way. So I got songs, like one song called Greed, just talking about how you never feel like you have enough. You always chasing, and you never satisfied to the point where you have the things you need, but you're still depressed and frustrated because you don't have the things you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, just attacking those mindsets, man. So that's what it's more like conscious trap music, man. It's probably more J. Cole than Gucci, man. You know what I'm saying?
We like it. We are Cole fans.
Yeah, I know, right? We some Cole fans. And, hey, shout out to Gucci. We was Gucci too. We had our Gucci phase, man. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, man, I don't know about you, Nee, but I'm sounding pretty excited for this album to drop, and I definitely hope and pray the engineers can get this thing right, so we can hear this thing.
He an artist too, man. My dude Stump, man. He got a super dope project, like a compilation project he put together. Mm-hmm. So he doing the finishing touches on that. And he told me, man, I should be done next couple of days, and I'm gonna have everything knocked out for you. I'm gonna push it. I said, man, I would greatly appreciate it.
Let's do it.
Appreciate it.
Let's do it, man. Well, absolutely, man. So this,
I remember, bro. First time I did. It was at City Takers, and you were doing that 16 challenge.
Oh man, this guy, he just put me on the spot today.
Hey, I knew he was doing the 16 challenge. Me and my dude Sherrod White, I'll never forget. We heard bro rap. We said, man, like he got it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you can hear the ability and the talent, but like you can hear the hunger too. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell, like I ain't just up here just because, like I love this. You know what I'm saying? And it showed he won. You know what I'm saying? As a result of that, because it was just undeniable. You know what I'm saying? So you always as well, bro. You dropping this Friday, I'm definitely gonna peep the project, man. I share it and all that, man.
Bro,
listen,
this and that's the one thing about you and me and what we do. And like I said, I had to get you on the show, and that's why it's an honor to really have you as the #1 guest, like the official real artist to come join the show, because it's a real relationship with you and me, man. And I mean, we keep up with each other. We kept tabs, and you know, a lot of times, people, especially in our genre, man, one thing about unity is it's a crazy thing, right? Like sometimes it feels like when you talk about where's your motives, you know what I mean? Like some artists might get in their feels a little bit and feel like, oh man, this person don't share my stuff. I'll be sharing their stuff, and they don't ever show the love back or this and that. And it's like, sometimes you can't get caught up and wrapped in that, because that's a monster in its own right. And even in the secular world, there's people in the secular world that have the same kind of, you know, mentality at times, where it's like you said, you're trying to one up.
People in the got the same mindset. The people in the secular world, that's the things that got to change. We got to stop feeling. Me supporting you is not going to stop me from achieving the things that I'm going to achieve.
Come on, man.
Again, that mindset, it's that whole mindset of I have to knock you down to come up. That's been embedded in us from the beginning. And we got to know, I mean, you see it on a larger scale, like with our communities. You see, okay, housing projects get knocked down. Everybody forced to these certain areas. They don't have opportunity outside of these areas. So when you put everybody in the same area trying to survive, what's going to happen? They're going to start turning on each other. So now you got each other. You got people selling dope to each other, because now it's a game of survival. I got to make sure I survive regardless of who else it affects. You got that mentality on the way you're talking about rap music, where I can't support you because if I support you, less people gonna pay attention to what I'm doing. It's just that perpetual mind state of crab in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if we're gonna make progress, because we can protest all we want, we can vote all we want. But after we leave the polls and after we protest it, we still knocking each other down to come up. It's going to be counterproductive. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
For other people, man.
Once again, Plain, you speaking some straight truth, bro.
Gems.
And that's why, and I've always, Lord knows, man, I'm always a big proponent. I love the artists in my genre of Christian hip hop. I feel like there's so many dope artists to check out, both here in the city of Atlanta, outside of the city of Atlanta, back home in Memphis, back home out in Cali, out in Vegas. I mean, just we can name, you and me, we can name artists for days on this show. We'd be another 2 hours for y'all, man.
Right.
Naming all these dope artists and what we do that really can give you some real truth, some real knowledge. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, even with you, brother, when I saw that this new album was coming, I was like, oh, we gotta get him on the show ASAP, bro, because meeting you, you know what I'm saying? I remember it was funny at first because when I first stepped into doing Christian hip hop, I actually checked you out and didn't realize I even checked you out until I look back. It was you and Young Noah had like a mixtape together, right? I didn't even realize at first. I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, yo, okay. And I was, like I said, you got to forgive me because I was still new, still learning everybody. I was still new to this. So when I realized, like, oh, wait, I done heard Plain James before. Like, when I saw that mixtape and I still got the CD now, and I'm like, hold up, that Plain James right there. Like, and then so it just shows, man, like the growth, man, both you, Young Noah, and pioneers in this thing, leaders in this thing, and just really, you know, being like, even when I see you out there speaking and like giving sermons right now, man, it's a beautiful thing to see that you're not just rapping it, but you living it. You know what I mean? And when, like you said, to see the hunger that I showed, it just goes to show, man, because I do love what I do. I do love music. I love God, and to be able to do the both together it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And I know you can agree with that, doing it yourself, man. So shout out to just every CHH artist out there that's grinding, especially in these times. If you're grinding even harder, you in your community, you working, you doing what we just talked about, we salute you. We give you props right now because the world needs it. And let's just keep it going. Keep that same energy, and let's keep doing this.
Right.
Let's keep on uniting. It's going to take a lot, but we got this, y'all. We got this. So we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up, man, because we've been on here. Time will fly when we have great conversation. We don't want to keep it, you know what I'm saying? Because if we go any longer, we're going to have to split this up into 2 parts. And I don't want to do that to y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all want all the juice in one squeeze. You know what I mean? So that being said, man, where do we go from here? Let's see. Where would we even go? Because this has been such a dope conversation. I would just say, if anything, man, right off top, Plain, go ahead, use this time to sell it to the people. Even let's say it's someone out here listening who may not know about Christian rap, Christian hip hop, or, you know, may not even be a Christian, but they like rap, they like inspirational stuff, whatever. Tell them why you feel they should check out this album when it drops, hopefully on the 24th.
So,
right. God willing.
Well, I would tell them, man, to check out this album because I know how it feels to be in situations in life where you're looking for answers. And it seems like a lot of people around don't really have those answers. In fact, they're struggling with the same thing. I know what it feels like to talk to people who are quote unquote believers or Christians and have them judge you and criticize you because you're going through real life stuff and you're going through real life emotions, and they try to give you the classic church answers like you gotta have this, as if because I'm struggling I don't have faith. I know what it feels like to wrestle with your faith, to be like, you know what, man, like I want to believe, but right now, God, it's hard for me to really see you in this situation. I just want to be transparent and be honest and let people know just because I'm a Christian don't mean I'm perfect. Just because I'm a Christian don't mean I don't have struggles. In fact, I have probably more struggles as a Christian now because before I just did whatever I wanted to do. But now I got this thing called conviction that I got to wrestle with every day. And I just wanted to come from a different variety of angles to show people like, man, in this life, like we go through these things, but if you're really looking for help, you're really looking for answers, the street's not going to be the answer. Relationship not going to be the answer. Whatever it is you try to fill this void within your life is not going to be the answer unless you try to fill it with Christ. We were made for one reason, that's to worship God. And we worship him in different ways. Like some people can sing, I can't sing. That ain't his will for my life. You know what I'm saying? Like you might be a painter, you might be a trash man, you might be a cook. whatever it is that you do, if you do it to the glory of God and you ask him to direct your path, you can find a measure of success and value in whatever it is you do, not only because you're doing it to provide for your family, but you're doing it to his glory, and he's going to use that. And I think what a lot of people are missing is a sense of belonging, a sense of love, a sense of purpose. And you just running around in life making these aimless decisions and just hoping that something just blows for you, something just works for you. And it's like, I was doing that. Like, I done ran the street, I done sold dope, I done did a lot of stuff I'm not proud of, just trying to fill this void. And it wasn't until I gained a relationship with Christ that I found that. And it just sound preachy when you hear the word Christian rap. I know the first thing come to your mind, like, I'm going to pass on that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's money, you know what I'm saying, to the average person. It's just like, I'm good on that. I don't really know where I'm at right now. And I understand that. But I would just say, hey, give it a listen. And if you find something that you can relate to, praise God. And if not, you know, I don't feel like I got to be the one to lead you to Christ. I'm not going to be mad if I'm not the one. All I'm here to do is plant a seed that hopefully make you ask some questions of anything else. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like if you don't listen to me, there's no hope for you. You know what I'm saying? I just pray to add some kind of value to your life that's going to lead you in the right path. So that's what the album is about, man. I hope you just relate.
Well, I'm sold.
You already know it, baby. We already sold over here. That sounds like one heck of a pitch over here. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to just thank you. We hope that you enjoyed listening. If you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook, we thank you for watching and tuning in and just vibing with us from start to finish. Make sure that you subscribe to Pastor Ox. Make sure you subscribe to a lot of our other dope shows that we have under the OTS Guys brand, such as Sideline Guys, such as, you know, Timeout, such as Life's a Botch. You never know. Debate Fuel even. We have so many dope shows with dope content. Shout out to Six Families Radio, our partners as well. If you're listening live on Six Families Radio, we thank you for listening. And as always, you already know how we do it. This is Pastor Ox. So we're going to get more guests for you in the future, but you know we had to give you the number one guest with the inspiration of inspirations right now. Like I said, CHH Atlanta legend, my boy, Plain James. So real quick, as we give this round of applause to my boy, my brother from another man. Again, I respect you, bro. I love you, and I anything you need, I'm always here, brother. I thank you so much, brother, for everything you do, your words of encouragement, and just what you do for the community, man, for the streets. So that being said, real quick, tell the people where they can find you and follow you, my friend.
All social media, man, it's the same. Follow me at Plain James DW. That's PLAIN James DW. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And on Facebook and Instagram, if you want to follow the ministry, just follow Trap Theology. That's TRAP Theology. You know what I'm saying? That's on Instagram and Facebook. So Plain James DW, Trap Theology. And also I have a website. If you're interested in getting some merch, I got some new designs I dropped today. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
Trap.com. Check out the website. Got new merchandise on there.
Yes, sir.
More about what we're about in the info section. And yeah, man, we just trying to glorify God, man, with the gifts he gave us.
Come on.
And act lives in a positive way.
Come on, man. That's what it's all about, baby. And you already know. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sure heading over to traptheology.com. And I'm about to crop me some Trap Theology merch. So that way I can already tell these folks about the movement, because you know it stand out like a sore thumb, baby. That's what we do. So, Cuzzo, my favorite co-host, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, so before I give out my tags, Plain James, on the Atlanta 96 track, you said that you have a daughter coming. So when is the due date? Congrats.
August the 7th. She's due August the 7th.
Oh, congratulations.
Man. Yes.
Are you excited? Are you nervous?
A combination of both.
Yeah. It's fun.
Oh, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm responsible for his life now, but
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, but yeah.
Hey, Plain, let me ask you, as a man, did you ever pray that, you know, the guy, like, God, please don't, if you bless me with a child, don't bless me with a girl, because then that means you know, I got to protect it from these streets out here, you know, these dudes. I was a dude once. You know what I mean?
My mind, like, for one, I was like, you know, whatever it is, as long as it's healthy, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But the more I'm about with the girl, and I just know the world we living in, and I know me,
Yeah.
because I already know, man. I go off.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, man.
I have seen my father go from 0 to 100 real quick, so it's definitely possible. But thank you so much for coming through. It was a pleasure meeting you and speaking with you. I'm so excited about this project. Dwayne, you're the best co-host ever in the whole entire world. You all can check me out on Instagram at Nina Soul. Nina is spelled with 2 I's. And what did I think about this week is now under the OTS umbrella as well. So that's amazing. Make sure you check out and subscribe to that podcast as well.
Yes, definitely check that out, especially if you were the type that loves a recap in your week, man. You just never know, man. Along with some real dope thoughts, by the way. So that is the Queen of Clatchet. Your boy is the Prince of Botch. And, well, you know, my boy, Trap Theology, he's the professor of Trap Theology.
Yes.
As you know. Bye. Yeah, like how I did that right there. I'm just saying, you know, I can't make this stuff up, people. It comes off of the top of the dome. You know what I mean? Oh, but I would like to say before I give y'all my social tags, Mr. Plain James, I do have this one thing though. You are the first official artist, and this is kind of a thing I want to do on Pass the Ox real quick. By any chance, you got a quick little 16 you can give the people one time before we let you go?
Oh, y'all not ready.
I can get you some.
Okay.
Ain't no cotton picking. When it got it out the mud, blood, sweat, and tears, been on the ground for years, overcoming every obstacle, do what some called impossible. Saved and walked on water, and on tracks like clues like carnival. Hit the switch Nintendo, who that peeping through my window. Probably Satan waiting, sin be crouching at the door. Came equipped with ammunition for spiritual war. Trust the Lord and pray for racists, throw the haters to the core. Won't become what I despise, keep a level head. Clay already red from the bloodshed, so that I won't make contribution. Rather come up with solution for those seeking retribution. Better if you use your head and your voice. Let's start though. Yeah.
No, that's the fire.
Look, that's it. That's it. Look, it's all good. What I'm talking about. That's how we do it right here on Pass the Ox. And well, I ain't gonna jack sway and say you whack rappers, so I'm just gonna say how would I say this? I'm just gonna say you not so great rappers out there that want to come out there, you know.
Creative challenge.
That's kind of how we do it out here on Pass the Ox. So again, as always, thank you guys for listening and tuning in. You can follow your boy at Dwayne Dickey Jr. or you can follow this real artist named Highlight Real as well. Follow my artist page at Highlight Life, HILITE Life. And yeah, check out Life's a Botch podcast. You know, if you're a big wrestling fan, we just had a dope interview with Mr. Darren Young. It was a very great episode. And yeah, in the meantime, follow all things OTS. Check out otsguys.com if you would like to follow this podcast and other awesome podcasts. And check out Six Families Radio at sixfamiliesradio.com. We are signing out, and the ox has officially been passed to you. Peace.